The Earth is heating up, and not just in a metaphorical sense. Heat waves, once a seasonal nuisance, have morphed into a menacing global threat, silently claiming lives and disrupting economies. Unlike dramatic headline-grabbing disasters like hurricanes and earthquakes, heat waves operate insidiously. They bake cities under a relentless sun, pushing already strained infrastructure to their limits and leaving vulnerable populations struggling to survive. This is not a future threat. It's our present reality demanding urgent attention. The danger of extreme heat is often underestimated, perceived as a mere discomfort rather than a serious hazard. This misconception is deadly. Heat waves are silent killers, responsible for more fatalities globally than any other natural disaster. Their impact extends far beyond immediate health risks, creating a ripple effect that touches every aspect of our lives, from the food we eat to the jobs we hold. Ignoring this silent threat is no longer an option. The consequences of inaction are too dire to ignore. As temperatures soar, so too does the urgency to understand and address this growing menace. The science is clear. Heat waves are increasing in frequency, intensity, and duration due to climate change. Our reliance on fossil fuels, deforestation, and unsustainable agricultural practices has created a planet on fire, with heat waves serving as a stark warning sign. The question is, will we listen? Heat waves pose a severe threat to human health, particularly for vulnerable populations such as the elderly, infants, and those with pre-existing medical conditions. When the mercury rises, our bodies struggle to cope. Heat stroke, a life-threatening condition, occurs when the body's temperature regulation system fails, leading to organ damage and even death. Even less extreme heat can exacerbate existing health issues, increasing hospital admissions for respiratory and cardiovascular problems. Beyond the immediate physical toll, extreme heat takes a toll on mental health as well. Studies have linked prolonged heat exposure to increased aggression, violence, and even suicide rates. The relentless heat can be psychologically draining, leading to anxiety, sleep disturbances, and a decline in cognitive function. These impacts are often overlooked but are crucial to understanding the full spectrum of heat waves' devastating effects. The health risks posed by extreme heat are not evenly distributed. People living in poverty, those without access to air conditioning, and outdoor workers are disproportionately affected. This highlights the stark reality of climate injustice. Those who have contributed the least to the problem are often the ones bearing the brunt of its consequences. Addressing this inequity is paramount in any comprehensive response to the growing threat of heat waves. The scorching heat of heat waves reaches far beyond our physical and mental well-being, impacting productivity and economies on a global scale. As temperatures rise, worker productivity plummets. Labor-intensive industries like agriculture and construction are hit particularly hard, as workers are forced to slow down or take frequent breaks to avoid heat stroke. This decrease in output translates into significant economic losses. The economic burden of heat waves extends beyond lost productivity. Increased demand for electricity to power air conditioners strains energy grids, sometimes leading to blackouts. This disrupts businesses, healthcare facilities, and essential services, further amplifying the economic fallout. The costs associated with treating heat-related illnesses, lost work hours, and damaged infrastructure place a significant strain on healthcare systems and national economies. The World Bank estimates that by 2030, heat stress could cost the global economy $2.4 trillion annually. This economic blow will be felt most acutely in developing countries, many of which are already grappling with poverty, inequality, and climate vulnerability. The interconnectedness of climate change and economic stability is undeniable. Ignoring the economic implications of heat waves is akin to ignoring a ticking time bomb. Section 4. A vicious cycle: heat waves and water scarcity. Heat waves exacerbate existing environmental challenges, particularly water scarcity. The scorching temperatures lead to increased evaporation from reservoirs and rivers, depleting already strained water resources. This intensifies competition for water, impacting agriculture, industry, and domestic use. Droughts, often triggered or intensified by heat waves, further exacerbate water shortages, creating a vicious cycle with devastating consequences. The agricultural sector, heavily reliant on water, bears the brunt of this water scarcity. Crops wither and die under the relentless sun, leading to reduced yields and threatening food security. This, in turn, can lead to price hikes, food shortages, and social unrest. The interconnectedness of heat waves, water scarcity, and food security underscores the urgent need for a holistic approach to climate action. The consequences of inaction are dire. As heat waves become more frequent and intense, the strain on water resources will only worsen, pushing already vulnerable communities to the brink. Addressing this challenge requires a multifaceted approach, including investing in water-efficient technologies, promoting sustainable agricultural practices, and addressing the root causes of climate change. Section 5. India, a nation on the front lines. India, a nation of over 1.3 billion people, stands on the front lines of the climate crisis, facing the brunt of heat waves with alarming regularity. The country's vast population, coupled with its dependence on agriculture and its rapidly expanding urban centers, makes it particularly susceptible to the impacts of extreme heat. In recent years, India has witnessed record-breaking temperatures, pushing the limits of human endurance and exposing the country's vulnerabilities. The 2022 heat wave in India, which saw temperatures soar above 50 degrees Celsius in some regions, serves as a stark reminder of the devastating human toll of extreme heat. The scorching temperatures claimed hundreds of lives, hospitalized thousands more, and crippled infrastructure. The agricultural sector suffered significant losses, with crops failing and livestock perishing in the unrelenting heat. The economic losses were staggering, highlighting the interconnectedness of climate change, health, and economic stability. India's experience is a harbinger of what awaits other countries as global temperatures continue to rise. The country's challenges underscore the urgent need for effective adaptation and mitigation strategies, not just within India, but globally. The international community must come together to support vulnerable nations like India in building resilience against the growing threat of heat waves. Section 6. Confronting the heat, a call to action. The threat of heat waves is real, it is here, and it is escalating at an alarming rate. The consequences of inaction are too dire to contemplate. We can no longer afford to treat heat waves as isolated incidents or mere inconveniences. They are a symptom of a much larger crisis, a climate crisis, that demands urgent collective action. Addressing this multifaceted challenge requires a multi-pronged approach. We must drastically reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, transitioning to cleaner, renewable energy sources. Investing in sustainable urban planning, creating more green spaces within cities, and improving building design to enhance natural ventilation can help mitigate the urban heat island effect. Strengthening public health systems to better prepare for and respond to heat waves is crucial. This includes establishing early warning systems, expanding access to cooling centers, and raising public awareness about heat safety measures. The fight against heat waves is not just about mitigating their effects. It's about addressing the root causes of climate change. It's about rethinking our relationship with the planet, embracing sustainable practices, and demanding accountability from our leaders. The time for complacency is long gone. The heat is on, literally and figuratively, and the future of our planet and our species depends on our response.